Hi, welcome to Gotta Ping. I'm Mei Ping, the founder of Gotta Ping. As a next-gen leadership coach, I help high-performing young executives and entrepreneurs like you to navigate complex people and problems with top-notch communication and leadership skills to create sustained success. In today's podcast, I want to talk about how to become a top performer at work. So if you have been following me for some time now and you have been exposed to my work, I'm sure you are aware that I have worked at global companies and consistently ranked as top performer regardless of the role that I've taken over the years in my corporate career. So now that I'm a coach, and even when I was in corporate, one of the very common questions I get asked is, so how do you become a top performer? Is this a natural talent, or is this something that someone can choose to work towards it, right? Are there any specific skills that can be picked up so that you can also become a top performer? And nowadays, in my work as a coach, I work with people from all across the spectrum, from junior all the way to very senior people in the corporate world. I've also worked with people who are facing a lot of challenges, just going through the day-to-day tasks and actually meeting deliverables, all the way to the other end of people who are very highly educated, top performers at work, but extremely ambitious and still want to achieve more. So in terms of understanding personally and also looking out there, having that kind of interaction with people in my day-to-day course of work, I've made some very good observations, and in today's podcast, I want to share with you. I would say all in all, to become a top performer, it is something that can definitely be learned. So it's not about who has the most talent and who is most highly educated. At the end of the day, it's the vision that you see for yourself. Do you see yourself as average, mediocre, or do you see yourself as a person that has more potential and can always give more, can always learn more, do more, and contribute more? So a lot of it really comes down to the self-image that we have of ourselves that really drives the behaviors we have, not just in life, right? In work, and even if you have a business, it's very, very similar. So I'd say that one of the first really good characteristics or habits is passion. I know passion sounds a bit woo-woo nowadays, but I think passion and belief in whatever that you're doing is really contributing to a bigger purpose. So people who really understand, and a lot of top performers really make an effort to understand how is the work that they're doing contributing to the bigger picture, right? How is it actually helping the team, right? Their manager, the company to really move forward by this little effort that they're putting in their work. So having that kind of high level view adds to the enthusiasm and adds to the real interest to want to contribute. And that's something that a lot of people don't quite understand. So even in my course of work, when I was so passionate and have very, very strong belief that we need to be able to deliver something for the team and for whatever not, just understand that this is not a piece that most people get it. Most people honestly just want to do their job and then go home. And that's the reality of it. So to become a top performer is really having that kind of different mindset and really wanting to contribute and being a main contributor, even if 99% of your colleagues said, yeah, you know what, don't care, just go home. Why do you even care so much? Why are you driving yourself crazy? Why are you so obsessed? But that's just a characteristic of a top performer. And if you have it in you, you will understand exactly what I'm saying. But if you don't have it in you and you want to be that kind of person, then dig deep, because otherwise, whatever effort that you're going to put in is not going to last, because you can only wait. There can only be that kind of motivation that someone can give you, but a lot of it, to be honest, really comes from within. So what are some of the other characteristics? The one that's very common is going the extra mile, right? So doing a little bit extra without being actually asked. But not doing the extra for the sake of it, but then again, it goes back to the objective. How is this extra little bit of effort, extra bit of help, is going to help the team as a whole? Is going to move the team forward? So that could translate in like helping a team member who doesn't quite get the deliverable, right? Giving a little bit of guidance, because it all kind of goes back to contribution as a team, and really demonstrates their very strong work ethic. Because they, as a top performer, right, you will want to try your best and not just deliver for yourself, and making sure that the entire ecosystem works, that we all achieve the same objective. So very closely related to that is the habit of like always taking initiative, right? Always being proactive, being self-directed. They don't really need a lot of motivation. If they say that they're going to do something, they're actually going to do it. So, when I run a lot of workshops, one of the common questions I get asked is, how do I develop leadership skills? And I completely understand this question, because it is in a lot of people's career goals to aim towards like a higher position, right? Either become a manager or a director, or even in senior leadership. But the same tip that I give all my workshop participants, or all those people who attended my talks, is the same thing. Learn how to manage yourself. Because if you don't do what you say you're going to do, then you essentially don't have self-leadership. Then how can you actually lead someone else? So a lot of it, like a top performer, most of the times they are very self-directed. They are very clear on what they say that they're going to do, and they make sure they are responsible, accountable, and they actually get the thing done. So this is really, really important to remember. Taking initiative, being proactive in a certain piece of work, and also in their longer term career goals, right? 3, 5, 10 years, what is the direction that they see their career moving in? If you speak to most top performers, most of them have an idea of where they want to go. But if you speak to an average performer, most of the time they have not even thought about it. They're just caught up in the chaos of the day-to-day firefighting at work, right? So take that extra initiatives. Think about a bit of a career strategy. What's your career path? Think a little bit further, because that will give you the inherent motivation to want to do well at work, because you can see how all these skills, experiences that you are gaining right now can help you in the future. And most top performers are very clear on that. So that's why if you look at them, they always are so enthusiastic, right? They always want to be very efficient and effective, because they know where they want to be, or they have a much clearer idea than most people on where they want to be in the future. All right, so what other kind of characteristics that we normally see in top performers? I'd say the other thing is like being open to feedback and constantly asking for advice. So I've worked with many people over the years, and I've also met some very egoistical people who think that they know it all, but eventually they still don't become top performer, or it's a bit of a hit and miss. They become top performer one year and then they are like down in the dumps the next year. It's because they are not open to getting feedback. They are not open to ask for advice, because they think they know it all. So a person who knows it all may do well, but it may not last for very long, because to be honest, we all don't know everything. So we need to be open for, to get advice from people who have, been there, done that, and really seen some things that we have not. So working with a lot of top performers, I find that they do have this habit of like seeking feedback and advice. So some of the clients I work with are also very top performers. Some of them are senior directors, even senior managers, and also identify as high potentials in their multinational companies. And I find it very interesting that they are really, really open to go for coaching. They know that there's more that they can do, and there's a lot of skills that they still have yet to master. So I find that this growth mindset is a very positive thing. This is not really something that you see from average performers, because if you're an average performer, then you're just comfortable being where you are. So there is really no need, no drive, no purpose to aim for more. So if you happen to work with a lot of top performers, you'll notice that having a growth mindset and continuous learning is something that's very, very prevalent. So the Other kind of characteristics, of course, being dependable, reliable, and all these are really, back to self-leadership. So do you say what you're going to do? If you do what you say you're going to do, then automatically you're reliable. Your team will say that you're dependable, and those are very, very good qualities in the workplace, because we all don't want to work with a person that is very flaky. So most top performers, they are very, very clear. Clarity is key when working with them, so you're expected to be a bit more direct and really get clear on how they can help you, and maybe they'll be a little bit more honest as well. So I would say that the last thing to become a top performer, actually stay a top performer, is the ability to be detail oriented. So this is a bit of an unpopular opinion, because everybody wants to develop big picture. Everybody just wants to wing it nowadays, or they just hope that personal branding will give them, the best chance possible. All those are great, but I would highly encourage being focused on learning how to be detail oriented. So the ability to zoom in and zoom out is just really, really important qualities if you really want to rise up to the top. And the best managing directors I've worked with have that detail-oriented mindset that really allows them to catch the nuances, the discrepancies that even some of the junior executives are unable to catch. So this is really, sounds really simple, but it's really a core skill set, right? Attention to detail is something that you want to pick up on. So in conclusion, it really depends on where you see yourself in your career, whether you want to aim towards becoming a top performer or you just want to be a very normal employee. But just recognize that the difference between the two is really very, very vast, and it does affect your career down the road, right? The next 10, 20, even 30 years. So my final word of advice, if you are interested to become a top performer or you want to stay a top performer, continue mastering those skills, right? Big picture thinking, communication, people skills, and all those things that I shared in the podcast today, and you will be well on your way towards career success. So as you know, I do work with a lot of ambitious professionals, and if you feel that I can help you to grow your career online or offline, please feel free to connect with me, and let's see how I can help you. And in the meantime, good luck, all the best, and keep moving forward. Cheers! Thank you for joining me today. If we have not yet connected, I look forward to connecting with you. You can find me on my website, www.goddardping.com, on LinkedIn, as well as Facebook. The links to my profiles are in this episode's description box. I can't wait for you to join me in the next episode of my Goddard Ping podcast. Till next time, bye!